Being a millennial, social media acts as an essential communicating and socializing tool. But more often, instead of using it as a tool, we are stuck in this rabbit hole of mindless content consuming. Companies spend fortunes just to grab hold of our attention. If they manage to capture our attention, they can control our actions. It manipulates our mind and make us believe in what they want us to believe in. They design different visuals and audio feedback that resembles the slot machines. It's a loop that keeps us addicted to the refresh. And we have made social media a place for us to flex our lifestyle while hiding what's unpleasant. It's also a place where numbers and figures are sign of worthiness. We depend on it to receive social approval. So I'll say, he who grabs the attention controls our action. And for me, I use social media almost every day. Scrolling through Instagram, watching other people's life on YouTube is the best leisure tool that hides beneath our phones. However, as I'm using it to combat my boredom, I'm also wasting my time watching random videos and scrolling mindlessly, despite it being a tool that can create dopamine to make us feel happy. It alters our definition of happiness and the need to be socially approved, and in some cases, that also leads to the development of mental health issues. With so many negative impacts social media can cause us, it's no wonder tons and tons of minimalists have ditched their social media accounts and decided to leave for good. There are extreme ways to remove social media from our lives, like going back to the basics and change your phone to a non-smartphone. Or deactivate your social media accounts and live as if social media doesn't exist. And me, I have done none of that. I'm not that extreme, and personally, I see no reason for me to use those acute measures. I think it still boils down to what we want to achieve. It doesn't mean that all minimalists have to reject and feel allergic to social media. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are not searching for those extreme measures as well. So here are some of the ways we can use social media effectively. But first, we have a lot of decluttering to do. Unfollow, unsubscribe, and unfriend. Let's treat our following as intentional as possible. Whichever platform you are using, treat it like your minimalist room, keep it intentional, and whoever exists in the list has to have a purpose to bring us value. It's easy for us to unfollow news, celebrities, brands, and inspiration accounts if they don't provide us with much value. There's nothing to miss out if they are unnecessary. However, the golden question here is, should you unfollow your friends if they don't bring you value? That's a question I'm struggling with as well. I think social media has created this problem. The event of being unfollowed has a negative connotation to it. It represents hate and dislike towards the other party. But come to think of it, if the other party is affected by you unfollowing them, then maybe the relationship is not as close as it seems. If you ever feel obligated to follow someone, then maybe the account is not serving you. I've unfollowed people from my Instagram account, people who are not providing me much value, and I'm still on the journey of keeping it intentional. But if you want to take a baby step, an excellent way to ignore posts from people you can't bear to unfollow is to mute their activities. With that, we can avoid the awkward situation of unfollowing someone you know, but yet still being intentional with the things you consume on social media. I don't have a magic number of following to keep your social media intentional, but just like our physical clutter, my advice is have a monthly and quarterly social media decluttering session. As we are continually changing, accounts and contents we valued yesterday might not be what we need today. Same thing goes for this channel. If you ever find my videos not bringing you value, I wouldn't want to be another clutter that distracts you. My own rule of minimalist notification is it has to be an emergency to distract or break the flow of what I'm doing currently. They can be one of the most distracting pieces of information that can make us happy, all because of the social recognition we crave for. If we open the app, we fall for the trap. There's a bar right there. Once the app is open, it's so easy for us to fall for the next distraction by showing us what we enjoy to see, and then the next trap to the next trap. It's a constant loop of scrolling. So instead of that, shut down the first trigger that lures us into the lion's den. To me, notifications for social media are not needed because there's nothing urgent for me to break my flow and attention just for me to check on the updates. So turn off your social media notification and use it only when it's time to use it. That's when you need to set a limitation. If we can break an addiction just by saying we are not going to use it, that would be perfect. But we are not perfect. It wouldn't be an addiction if it's so easy. So we need the help of limitation, a system that can keep us in check and prevent ourselves from falling back into the same habit cycle. There's the 30-day digital declutter, going cold turkey during this period of 1 month. I know, that can make us really uncomfortable, but it's needed for us to break the bad habit. And during the process, we might understand that we don't need social media to make us happy. We can reintroduce social media back into our lives after 30 days. We might be able to find new ways for us to use social media effectively. I think I should try that soon. But if you want to keep it mellow and start with baby steps, you can limit your use with a timer. Let's say not more than an hour of using social media for every week. I've also limited myself to reply to Instagram messages through my desktop. So I won't be scrolling through my Instagram feed religiously before I sleep or once I'm awake. That's what will happen when I've forgotten to delete my Instagram. I'm not here to tell anyone not to use social media, but how can we use it better? There are tons and tons of content releasing every second as I'm speaking. Whether is it valuable, that's subjective. But a lot of time, when we are posting something publicly, we are seeking for the attention of others, and the results are based on the number of likes and comments. If it performs well, we feel superb and feel that we are socially approved by the community. But when the results are bad, we start doubting ourselves with self-deprecating thoughts. I've definitely felt that way about my posts before, feeling insecure about it if the numbers are not doing well. Indeed, numbers and figures are an excellent way for us to judge if the particular post is approved by the crowd. And it acts as a social proof. An account is way more credible when it has significant followings as compared to an account with lesser following. But I have to say, it's important if you are trying to build a brand, a business. But if it's all personal, I think we should ignore the numbers. As a human, we can never be satisfied with the numbers we received. There will always be people better than us. So what's the whole point of us comparing ourselves with others if the purpose of posting something is just to share our viewpoint, our ideas, and creativity? There's a need for social media companies to make the app as easy to use as possible. But it's also our job to add friction to the use of social media if we want to limit the use. I have to delete my Instagram once I'm done using it. That acts as a hurdle for me when I want to use it. I'll download Instagram back on my phone when I need to make a post. And I'll delete it once I'm done using. If not, I'll quickly fall back to the same old habit of mindless scrolling. And this happened to me quite a few times. I found myself scrolling mindlessly as I'm filming my B-roll. We need to understand what's the reason why we are cutting down on social media and what we gain after that. Those extra time we have now is a good time for us to spend on something we value. Whether is it starting something new or learn something you always wanted to learn but just don't have the time. So this is how I use social media as a tool to find balance between the extreme, which is totally rejecting it, and also the addiction of mindless scrolling. I know it's common for a minimalist to bash the use of social media. Certainly, we have seen so many negative impacts social media have caused. But whether is it a positive or negative effect, I think it still lies within the intention of the user. Like I've always believed, too much of anything is never the best. So what's important is find a balance that is beneficial to you. So I hope this video can help you out, and if you are interested in more videos like this, you can check out my channel for other minimalism and self-development videos. Of course, I wouldn't want to be your social media clutter, so only if you have received value from this video and would like to support this channel, you can help me with the like button or follow me on my Instagram. I'll keep you guys updated. I have a Patreon page where I post an extended version of this video, and I talk about how I use my social media as a minimalist. There's also the place where you can support this channel monetarily, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye bye.